Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We'll begin with our prayers. Magyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Srī Caitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from Caitanya Caritāmrta Madhya lila. We are on chapter 16, Lord's attempt to go to Vrindavan. So far, we have discussed in this chapter how Lord desired to go to Vrindavan. Every time he would speak that, the devotees would give some excuse. Oh Lord, now Kartik is coming, it will be very cold. Please stay. Now Dol Yatra is coming, please stay. In this way, they didn't allow him to go for 2 years. And every year, devotees from Bengal, they would come and they would have a discussion with Lord Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu about who is a Vaishnava. So we heard wonderful discussions. The Lord told in first year, a Vaishnava is one who chants Krishna's name even once. Prabhu kahe yaar mukhe shune Krishna naam, Saita Vaishnava kar tahara samman. Even if somebody chants once, consider him as a Vaishnava and respect him. Second year, Mahaprabhu told, who is a Vaishnava? Vaishnava is one who regularly chants. That is the Madhyamadhikari Vaishnava. And then the third time he describes the Uttamadhikari Vaishnava. So wonderful discussions happened between the devotees of Kulinagram and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every year. Then everyone departed. Pundarik Vidyanidhi stayed. We heard the wonderful pastime of Pundarik Vidyanidhi trying to instruct the priests. He thought ill about the priests of Jagannath because they were offering starched cloth. Krishna and Balaram came in the dream of Pundarik Vidyanidhi and started slapping his cheeks. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi was happy. So then, after 4 years passed by, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his devotees, he told Sarvam Bhattacharya and Ramanand Rai, that you didn't allow me to go to Vrindavan for so far. Now, can you please allow me to go? I really hanker to go to Vrindavan. So, both of them thought it is not good to play tricks with the Supreme Lord. They said, okay, my Lord, please go to Vrindavan. They gave permission. Supreme Lord is dependent on his devotees. And the Lord departs for Vrindavan. We heard how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he goes to various places. He first reaches a place called as Bhavanipur. And then after that, he reaches Katak. So we discussed till verse number 101. We'll continue from verse number 102. So now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he is on his way to Vrindavan, he's not traveling alone. He's traveling with lots of devotees. Everybody is coming with Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu almost. All the great devotees are coming with Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, as Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu reaches Katak, Katak is the capital of Prataprudra Maharaj. So Prataprudra Maharaj, he comes to know that Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has come to his kingdom. He is so happy, he is overjoyed. And we have heard the intense desire of Sri Prataprudra Maharaj to meet Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, to get his mercy, and ultimately in Rath Yatra he received the mercy of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He was so happy. And he came in front of Lord Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he offered his full obeisances to Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Punaha uthe punah pade pranaya viheval stuti kare pulakang pade ashrujal. He was so overwhelmed with love, he would get up, he would again fall down in ecstasy. Tears were coming out of his eyes. He would offer prayers. His hairs were standing on end. Stuti kare pulakanga pade ashrujal. And Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was also very pleased to see his wonderful devotee, Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He stood up and he embraced Prataprudra Maharaj. Again and again, Prataprudra, he offered obeisances. It was a dream come true for Prataprudra Maharaj. And Lord, as he was embracing, Prataprudra is crying tears of ecstasy, and Lord's body is bathed with the tears of Prataprudra Maharaj. And he is in ecstasy. Prataprudra Maharaj is in ecstasy, and Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he is enjoying the love of his devotee. And then, as Prataprudra is in complete ecstasy, now Ramananda has to intervene. Sustha kari Ramananda Raja re basaila. Kae mano vakye Prabhu tare kripa koila. Now, somehow Ramananda Rai pacified the king. Sustha, he became situated in his normal consciousness. Normal means external consciousness. Sustha kari Ramananda, and Ramananda Rai, he made Prataprudra sit down. How Mahaprabhu showed mercy to Prataprudra Maharaj. Earlier, he was not even giving darshan to Prataprudra Maharaj. And now, how he is giving mercy? Kaye mano vakye Prabhu tare kripa koila. He bestowed his mercy through his body, through his mind, through his words. He is giving mercy in all respects. That is how Lord Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is. That's how Lord is. When he gives mercy, he doesn't keep anything back. He doesn't hold anything. He gives everything to his devotees. Kaye mano vakye Prabhu tare kripa koila. Lord is just waiting for his devotee to turn to him, and he tests his determination. He tests his devotee's desire to come close to the Lord, come close to him. We see in the story of the marriage of Rukmini. Rukmini Devi, she was tested till last moment. As she is about to get married to Shishupala and there is no sign of Lord coming, she was tested till end. But when Rukmini Devi, she showed her determination to serve the Lord, to surrender to the Lord, and after Lord was convinced, of course he was always convinced, but he was testing to show how Lord tests even his internal potencies in this pastime. So why we should have doubt that we will not be tested? We will also be tested. But when Lord married Rukmini and she took her on the chariot, and Rukmini is driving the chariot, and All the kings headed by Jarasandha, Rukmi, they are all fighting. They are all coming to attack Krishna. And seeing this huge army, Rukmini, she becomes anxious. And Krishna, he speaks a very, very beautiful word there. Ma bhai vamalochane tavakai shatravam balam adhunaya. So he says, adhunaya tat. Oh, lotus-eyed one, ma bhai, do not fear. Just see in very short time, tavakai, your army will defeat these forces. Our acharyas have given a great commentary on this word, your tavakai. Rukmini is not yet married to Krishna, but still Krishna, he is giving everything to his devotee. Kai mano vakye prabhu tare kripa kaila. So when Lord shows mercy, he shows mercy in every aspect. He pacifies the devotee by his words. He thinks of how to show mercy to his devotees, and by his practical action, he shows mercy. Aichet tahare kripa koila gaur rai, pratap rudra santrata nama hoilayai. He gave mercy to such an extent. Aichet tare kripa koila. He gave mercy to Pratap Rudra to such a great extent that Mahaprabhu, one of his names is Pratap Rudra Santrata, the deliverer of King Pratap Rudra Maharaj. He is known by his mercy to Pratap Rudra. As the Hindi saying goes, Bhagwan dete hain to chappad phad ke dete hain. So Lord, he is Mahavadanyaya, he is the supreme merciful incarnation. But before giving that mercy, he also tests a little bit to show how one should be very, very serious in this path of devotion. If we want to receive the mercy of the Lord, then we have to show our sincerity and seriousness. All the other government officials, they also came, they also offered their respects to Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and the king and all his officers, they brought Mahaprabhu to his place of residence they had made, and ultimately they bid farewell to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, as he was there in his place, king, he went out and he gave written orders to all the government officials, all the officers. What was the order? The order read like this. In every village, you should construct a new residence. And in that residence, it should have 5 to 7 rooms. And not just in residence. In that residence, there should be many rooms, and out of those, 5 to 7 rooms should be full of food. All kinds of. Although Mahaprabhu is not going to stay in these rooms, in these houses for many days, but still 5 to 7 rooms full of food, grains. That's our devotee. That is the eagerness of a devotee to serve the Lord. He says, you should personally take the Lord to these newly constructed house, and personally you should guard the gate of these residences with sticks in your hand. And then he ordered his 2 ministers, Harichandan and Mardraj. He gave orders to these 2 ministers. Please execute these orders as soon as possible. We have heard about Harichandan, the famous pastime when Harichandan was hit by Srivas. So this Harichandan and Mardraj, they were ordered. So the king, he also ordered them make new boats for Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And wherever Mahaprabhu takes bath, that place should be established as a place of pilgrimage by a memorial column. And it should be written there that in this place, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took bath. And the king said, indeed, I will take my bath there and I will like to die there only. So that was the devotion of Pratapendra Maharaj. He was not an ordinary king. He was such a great devoted king that he was doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord. The king continued. At Chaturdwar, please construct new residential quarters. And now, O Ramanand, you please return to your residential house. Then, after some time, the king came to know that the Lord was leaving in the evening. He immediately made arrangements. He made arrangements of all the elephants and he made various tents. He put them on the back of these elephants and they were going with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu wherever he was going. All the ladies of the palace, they were lined up on the roads to take darshan of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to the river. The river's name was Chitrotpala. He went to take bath there. On the way, all these royal ladies, they are standing with the folded hands and offering obeisances to him. So not only king was a great devotee, all his wives were devotees, all the palace, all the kingdom was devotee of the Lord. And upon seeing the Lord, they felt so overwhelmed with emotion, they spontaneously started chanting Hari Hari, Krishna Krishna. E mana kripalu nahi shuni tribhuvane, Krishna prema hai yara duru darshane. Kaviraj Goswami says, I have never seen such a personality. E mana kripalu nahi shuni tribhuvane. There is nobody as merciful like Supreme Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu in this entire universe. Just by Dur Darshane, just by taking darshan of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu from far, he is giving Krishna Prem to everyone. That was the mercy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And this mercy, Lord Mahaprabhu, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has distributed when he was in South India. Just by glancing at people, he was making them pure devotees. He was giving them love of God by embracing them. Navadipe Shakti na Kaila Prakashe, say Shakti Sanchari Nistarila Dakshina Deshe. In Navadip, he didn't manifest such wonderful Shakti. So whenever Lord travels somewhere, he is giving his mercy freely. So Kaviraj Goswami says, Krishna Prema Hari Yara Dura Darshane. Just by taking darshan of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu from far, somebody would develop love of God. So now, Lord, he left. He got on a boat. He crossed the river. And it was evening time. Finally, he reached a place called as Chaturdwar. And he spent the night there. He got up in the morning, took his bath, and as soon as he took his bath, Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath came. The superintendent of Lord Jagannath's temple, he had sent Mahaprasad for the Lord till Katak. That was a devotion of King Prataprudra. He had given orders that Mahaprabhu should be given Mahaprasad of the Lord. And it was not a small quantity, huge quantity of prasad carried by many people arrived there. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honored the Mahaprasad. He got up and he started chanting the names of the Lord. Ramanand Rai, Harichandan, and Mardharaj. These three people, they were always with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu wherever he was going. And not just these three, they are the ministers of the king. Apart from the ministers of the king, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling with many devotees. Paramananda Puri was there, Swarup Damodar, Jagadananda, Mukunda, Govinda, Kashishwara, Haridas Thakur. So many devotees were there. Vaninatha Patanayak, Gopinath Acharya, Damodar Pandit. Everybody was there. In fact, Kaviraj Goswami says, Pradhana Kahilu Sabare Nakore Ganan. I can't count how many people were there. I'm just taking the names of few chief devotees, prominent ones. Yeah. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all these devotees, as they are traveling, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he turns to Gadadhar Pandit. He was also there with him traveling. And he says, Gadadhar Pandit yabe sangate chalila, kshetra sannyas na chadiha prabhu nishedila. Gadadhar Pandit, he also wanted to go with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Kshetra sannyas na chadiha. Please don't give up your Kshetra sannyas. So Kshetra sannyas means a person, he leaves his household life. Of course, Gadadhar Pandit was always a brahmachari. But Kshetra sannyas means when one leaves the household life, he goes to a place of pilgrimage and he resides there. He never leaves that place, that Kshetra. That is called a Kshetra sannyas. And Prabhupada quotes Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He writes that in Kali Yuga, this type of sannyas is preferable in Vanaprastha life. Sarvam Bhattacharya, Prabhupada writes, he was also a Kshetra sannyasi. He was a householder, but he renounced. He was earlier in Navadvip. Now he was staying in Jagannath Puri. So Gadadhar Pandit, he had taken a vow of Kshetra sannyas in Jagannath Puri. Now he was leaving Jagannath Puri because Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan. And Gadadhar Pandit was such an intimate associate of Lord. He could not leave the association of Lord. Now in this pastime, such wonderful, intimate dealings between Lord and his devotees described. By these pastimes, we can just have a glimpse of what it means to be attached to the Lord. So when Mahaprabhu says, you can't leave your Kshetra sannyas vow, Gadadhar Pandit becomes angry. And he says, Pandit kahe ka yaha tumi sei nilachal, Kshetra sannyas mora jau ka rasatal. Says, to hell with my vow of Kshetra sannyas. Oh my Lord, wherever you are, that is Jagannath Puri. I don't care about my Kshetra sannyas. Just like, Lord, he doesn't care about his vow when it comes to protecting devotees. Devotees are also like that. They can't leave association of the Lord in any situation. Says, what is the use of the sannyas? Kshetra sannyas. If I can't get your association, this Kshetra sannyas is useless. Because the purpose of sannyas is to come close to you, oh my Lord. If you are not there, what is the use of this Kshetra sannyas? To hell with it. Now, please understand how Mahaprabhu is going to respond to this intense desire of Gadadhar Pandit to be with him. When he says, I don't want to stay in Jagannath Puri, and it was not that he was just staying in Jagannath Puri. He was serving Lord Tota Gopinath. He was the personal servant of Tota Gopinath. dressing the Lord, offering bhoga to the Lord. So Mahaprabhu says, how can you say like this? Prabhu kahe iha kar gopinath sevan, Pandit kahe koti seva tvat darshan. He says, Mahaprabhu saying, Are, please stay here and serve Gopinath. Gadadhar Pandit says, Are, just by having darshan of your lotus feet, that is equivalent to doing service millions of times. Now, Mahaprabhu, although inside he is very, very happy, but just to set an example for everyone in this world, Mahaprabhu becomes really strict. Because many times a devotee, just because he's not so much interested in a seva, he says, I'll go for yatra. I want to be with all the devotees and I want to be with my spiritual master and I want to have his association. I don't want to serve here. What's the use of service? I want to get association of my spiritual master, or I want to go and take darshan of the deities. Mahaprabhu never ever likes this. And he will speak this in some verses. Prabhu kahe seva chhadiha amay lag dosh. Iha rahi kar seva amara santosh. He says, if you give up your seva, O Jagannath, O Gadadhar Pandit, it will be my fault. Because of me, you are leaving this service. I'll be at fault. So therefore, please stay here. Please stay here and serve Gopinath. That will be my satisfaction. Amara Santosh, that will be my satisfaction. So government is not giving up. He says, no, no, no. I will take all the, bad words. Pandit kahe sab dosh amara upar, Toma sangya na yaibo ekeshwar. He says, okay, you are saying that you'll be at fault because people will tell that I went with you. I'll not come with you. From here, you go and I'll come different way. So people will not see the connection that I have left with you. I will take all the fault that I give up service of Gopinath. You will not be implicated in all this. And you know what I'll say? आई के देखी तो यही बनाई पे तुम्हार लगी प्रतिज्ञा सेवा त्याग दोष तार आमी भागी आई के देखी वो I am going to see Shachi Devi. I want to see and take darshan of Sachi Mata. I ke dekhite aibo. I will say I'm not going to be with Mahaprabhu. Pratigya, Seva, Tyaga, these faults, I will take the responsibility. You will not be implicated in this. Ei bali Pandit Gosai Prithaka Chalila, Kataka Asi Prabhu Tare Sange Anila. So he left. He didn't go with Mahaprabhu. He left separately from Jagannath Puri. So at Katak, now after traveling for all this distance, Mahaprabhu called Gadadhar Pandit, you come. And then Kaviraj Goswami says, who can understand the love of Gadadhar Pandit for Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu? And who can understand the loving dealings between Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit? Panditera Gauranga Prema Bujhana Nayae Pratigya Shri Krishna Seva Chadila Tina Prai Panditera Gauranga Prema Bujhana Nayae. Nobody can understand the epitome of love which Gadadhar Pandit had for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Pratigya Shri Krishna Seva Chadila Trina Prai. These two most important things, the vow of Kshetra Sannyas and service to Gopinath. He gave up like piece of straw in the street. That was the intense love Gadadhar Pandit had for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. For most of us, we can never experience such separation because we forgot when we were with the Lord. For separation, there should be some experience of union. We forgot when we were with the Lord. So these pastimes, they show us what it means to love Krishna. What is the extent? How when Mahaprabhu leaves, every time Mahaprabhu leaves, the devotees, they go and the devotees faint in anxiety of separation. This is the same thing which will happen here also. Srila Prabhupada writes, just to get Mahaprabhu's association, Gadadhar Pandit gave up his life's vow. It was a lifelong vow. It was not a vow of current people. We can speak something and we can change our words every now and then. Previous times, it was not the case. So Gadadhar Pandit, he gave up Pratigya Shri Krishna Seva Chadila Trinapray. Just like piece of straw in the street, he gave up. Tahare Charitra Prabhu Antare Santosh, Taharo Hate Dhari Kohi Kari Pranayarosh. Antare Santosh. Seeing the love of Gadadhar Pandit, Mahaprabhu was happy inside. He was very satisfied. But still, he took Gadadhar by his hand and he spoke to him in an angry way because he had to set an example for all the other devotees. He says, Pratigya seva chhadiba ei tomara uddesha sei siddha hoila chhadi aila duradesh. You wanted to give up your vow, you wanted to give up your seva, both these have been fulfilled. Now you have come till Kartak. Now you can't go ahead. Mahaprabhu is really strict with his devotees when it comes to setting their standards. Amar sange rahite chaha vanchha nij sukh tomar dui dharmayai amar hoye dukha. Now this is a very, very important principle which Mahaprabhu is saying here. Amar sange rahite chahe tomar nij sukh. It is your personal sense gratification that you want to come with me. But I am not so happy because you are giving your two dharma, pratigya and Krishna seva. How can you give up? So Mahaprabhu wanted to establish this principle that devotional service is not whimsical. It is about following the instructions, whatever may happen. If somebody leaves service just to be with some go for some yatra and be with some devotees, that is not accepted by Mahaprabhu. That is not at all the mood of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Amara sange rahite chaha. At one point, somebody may say, well, this is the highest. If somebody wants to be with Supreme Lord, what is the fault in this? But the main point is what Lord wants. That is more important. If the Lord wants us to stay and serve, we should be ready to do that. Because ultimately, devotional service is about pleasing the Lord. For most of us, Lord will not personally come and tell us something. It will come through the devotees. And Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has shown by his personal example how he is subordinate to the will of the devotees. They didn't allow him to go to Vrindavan for 2 years and Mahaprabhu accepted it. Yadyapi Swatantra Prabhu nahe nivaran, bhakta ichha vina Prabhu na kare gaman. So Mahaprabhu has set standard. Apani achari Prabhu shikhaila sabare. How one should come under the control of devotees and become subservient. Follow the instructions of the devotees. Because for most of us, Lord will not come on his own and tell us, you should do this, you should not do this. But we always have some seniors. We always have spiritual masters who will tell us, you should do this, you should not do this. At that time, what is our response? Amara sange rahita chaha vanchani jishuk. It is your personal sense gratification that you are coming with me. Of course, for Gadadhar Pandit, it was not an ordinary material thing. It was intimate affection at a spiritual level. But for us, most of the times, because we don't like to do something and this service is given to me, I don't want to do this, so I'll go and do something else. Amara sange rohite chaho vancha nij sukh. Mahaprabhu is very strongly saying, it is your personal sense gratificatory desire. Because you are giving up your vow of Kshetra Sannyas. You are giving up your seva. It is not at all acceptable. Mora sukha chaha yadi nila chale chal, amara shapath yadi ara kichu bol. Now, Mahaprabhu says, if you want my happiness, go back to Nilachal. Mora sukha yadi chaha, Nilachale chal. Go back to Nilachal. And it is my shapath. If you speak anything else, you will condemn me. Please go back. And speaking like this, Mahaprabhu just turned, he sat on the boat and he left. Now, what was the reaction of Gadadhar Pandit? It is unimaginable. Mahaprabhu, as he leaves, he is so disheartened, he becomes unconscious. Eta balu Mahaprabhu naukate chadila, मूर्छित होइया पंडित ताथाई पड़िला. Murchit hoiya. As soon as Mahaprabhu turned and sat on the boat, he left. He left without speaking anything. And Gadadhar Pandit, he fell down unconscious. Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Gadadhar falling unconscious, he told Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was also there. He ordered, please take care of Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit came. He told, oh, Gadadhar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came and told Gadadhar, please get up. These are the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. You should know that Krishna himself violated his own promise to fulfill the promise of Bhishma Dev. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling, Lord can never tolerate that his devotees break their promises. It is unbearable for the Lord. As we are making promises to chant our rounds, to follow principles, to serve in the mission of Prabhupada to the best of our capacity, we should try to live by these vows till last moment of our life. That is a way to show our love for the Lord. That is a way to show our commitment towards the Guru Parampara. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya quotes a verse spoken by Bhishma Dev. It comes in the Bhagavatam, first canto, 9th chapter. He's remembering how Lord, just to fulfill my promise, he jumped off the chariot of Arjun. He picked up the wheel and he was running to kill me. Swanigamapahaye mata pratigyamritam madhikaratum avaplutostaha. Dhritarata charanobhyaya chaladgur harivahantum ibham gatto tariya. I saw how he was running like a lion with a chariot wheel in his hand. His upper cloth was flying in the air. So it is not so astonishing, O Gadadhar. The Lord never tolerates that his devotee should break their promise. Ehi mat prabhu tomara vichcheda sahiya tomara pratigya raksha koila yatna kariya. Although for Mahaprabhu also separation from you, it was unbearable. But Mahaprabhu protected your vows. and tolerated that separation from you. So in this way, Sarvam Bhattacharya, he revived Gadadhar Pandit. Both of them, they were very sad. Sarvam Bhattacharya was also very sad. We saw the same thing happened when Mahaprabhu, after converting Sarvam Bhattacharya into Vaishnavism, then Mahaprabhu told one day that Sarvam Bhattacharya, I am leaving for South India. Just few days after, Sarvam Bhattacharya, can you please stay for 5 more days? So Mahaprabhu was so overwhelmed seeing the devotion of Sarvabhaum, he stayed for 5 more days. And then as he is leaving, Sarvam Bhattacharya falls unconscious. And Mahaprabhu doesn't even turn back and give solace to Sarvam Bhattacharya. Here Kaviraj Goswami says, Vajratapi Kathor Kusumadapi Komal. That is the nature of great personalities. They can be softer than the lotus, hard than thunderbolt. But the devotees of the Lord, they can never bear separation from Supreme Personality. When Krishna left, Pandavas could not bear separation from them. They also renounced, they also gave up their life. Kavasahet viraham purushottamasya premavalo kuruchirasmitaval gujalpai stairyam samanamaharan madhumaninam romotsavam mamayadangri vitankitaya. Who got the maximum association of Krishna when he was on this earth? Mother Earth herself. He was constant in touch with Mother Earth, sometimes walking barefoot. So she is telling, how can I bear separation from the Supreme Lord? So that is a natural outcome of emotions when Krishna leaves a devotee. Satsangan mukta dusango hatum nutsahate buddha kirtyamanam yasho yasya sakrita karne rochanam tasminyastadiya partha sahiran viraham katham darshan sparsh sanlapa shayana sanabhojanai. Even if somebody gets association of great devotees, it is very difficult to be separated from them. How one can bear separation from the Lord? Tasmin nyastadhiya partha sahiran. How can Arjun bear separation from Krishna? Darshan, Sparsha, Sanlapa, Shayana, Asana, Bhojanai. He was doing everything with Krishna. So all these devotees, they had spent their lives with Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit from childhood, he was with Mahaprabhu. So it was unbearable. Sarvam Bhattacharya, he also very sad. Both of them, they returned back to Nilachal. Kaviraj Goswami speaks a very, very powerful verse. Prabhu lagi dharma karma chhade bhakta gana bhakta dharma hani prabhu na hoye sahan. For the Lord, the devotees are ready to give up their everything, dharma and karma. But Lord never ever tolerates that his devotees should give up their dharma and karma. Whatever seva is given to a devotee, that seva should be done without a compromise. Because Lord he's never happy when he sees that his devotees are compromising or doing something else just for enjoyment, just for their own sense gratification. And then Kaviraj Goswami gives falashruti of hearing this. Premera vivartiha shunayai jan achire mile tare chaitanya charan. Premera vivarta. Vivarta means all these are misgivings. They may not look so good to hear. How can Mahaprabhu leave Sri Gadadhar Pandit and he's falling down unconscious? Premera vivarta. These are the misgivings of loving affairs. Whoever listens to them, what happens? Achire mile tare. very soon they will achieve the lotus feet of Lord Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. They will receive the mercy of the Lord. So that is how Gadadhar Pandit, he is showing how one should be attached to the Lord. But the Lord is showing how a devotee should never ever give up his seva and his vow. Pratigya seva chhadila trinapray, but Prabhu lagi dharma karma chhade bhaktagana, bhakta dharma hani Prabhu na ho aisa. Although Gadadhar Pandit, he gave up his pratigya and seva like a straw in the street, trinapray, Mahaprabhu didn't acknowledge, didn't accept it. So that is the wonderful principle Mahaprabhu is showing through his devotees. That sometimes, even if we like to do some services, but if some authority is giving us some other service which we don't like, still we should do that. Because as one devotee was saying, there are some services which we are told to do, some services which we have to do, some services which we like to do. The services which we are told to do, they purify us. Services which we have to do, our sadhana, they sustain us. Services which we like to do, they nourish us. So we should do all these three. In the beginning years of Krishna consciousness, most of the things which we do is what we are told to do. But in due course of time, because in the beginning years, a devotee is not so strong. What should be done now? What I should do? Because the senses are so strong, the senses may take a devotee to a wrong direction in the beginning years. So therefore, in the beginning years, most of the services which we are doing, we should do what we are told to do. Then as we progress and we get purified, every devotee has some natural inclination how he or she wants to serve the Lord, what they like to do for the Lord. So over a period of time, should also evolve in our consciousness and try to do what we like to do. And Srila Prabhupada encouraged the devotees in what they like to do. If some devotee was expert in painting, he would encourage them, you paint. One devotee came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, you tell me any seva I am ready to do. Prabhupada said, oh, it is so nice, but what do you like to do? He thought maybe Prabhupada is testing me. He said, no, Prabhupada, you tell me, I will do whatever you say. Again, Prabhupada said, but I want to know what you like to do. Again, he said, no, Prabhupada, I have no personal preference. You tell me. No, you should tell what you like to do. Then he thought, maybe Prabhupada is serious. He said, Prabhupada, I'll think about it and come back. After a few days, he went back and told Prabhupada, when I see my god brothers, when they play mridanga, those Indian mridangas made up of mud, and these devotees, they play with such passion, the mridanga breaks sometimes. I am expert in molding fibers. So I want to make fiber mridanga for kirtan, which is long lasting. Prabhupada said, yes, you should do it. And that was beginning of Balram Mridangas. So that's how seva should never be given up. If some authority is giving some seva, that should be done. And in due course of time, along with that services, we should also understand what we like to do, so that we can serve Krishna in our natural state. So that was wonderful, pastime of how Mahaprabhu is telling. Mahaprabhu is never ever happy. Bhakta dharma hani Prabhu na hoye saram. The basic principles should never be given up. If we have taken a vow of seva, if we have taken a vow of serving the Lord, that should never be given up. We can just change some of the ways, but our basic principle should never be given. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. Another wonderful pastime is about to start. How Mahaprabhu transforms the Muslim world. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.